Here's something that's going to mess with everything you thought you knew about one of history's most famous events. For thousands of years, we've been told that the parting of the Red Sea was either an undeniable miracle or complete fiction. But what if both sides have been missing the point entirely? Scientists have just uncovered evidence that's turning this ancient debate on its head. And honestly, the truth is way stranger than either camp ever imagined. We're talking about cutting-edge oceanography research, archaeological discoveries in Egypt and Israel, and computer simulations that reveal something absolutely mind-blowing about what really went down during the Exodus. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another documentary trying to either prove or debunk the Bible, right? Wrong. This isn't about destroying anyone's faith or validating skeptics. This is about discovering that the line between miracles explained and natural phenomena might not even exist the way we think it does. Here's the controversial truth nobody wants to talk about. Modern science studying the Red Sea miracle isn't making the story less impressive. It's actually making it more incredible. The research findings suggest that what happened to Moses and the Israelites might have required such impossibly perfect timing that calling it just nature seems almost harder to believe than calling it divine intervention. How's that for a paradox? Let me hit you with something that'll make you question everything. While religious studies scholars and scientists have been battling it out for decades over whether this ancient history event was real or mythical, they've both been overlooking the most fascinating possibility: that miracles of the Bible and scientific explanation aren't enemies. They might actually be telling the same story from different angles. The latest investigations into this unexplained mystery reveal data that satisfies neither the hardcore skeptics nor the traditional believers. And that's exactly what makes it so compelling. Within the next few minutes, you're going to see evidence that'll challenge your assumptions about faith and science, regardless of which side you're on. Ready to have your mind blown? Because what we're about to uncover about the Red Sea split will change how you see the entire intersection of miracles and reality forever. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of the Red Sea, waves crashing at your feet, and suddenly you're faced with an impossible choice. Behind you, an army ready to destroy everything you've ever known. Ahead, an ocean that seems insurmountable. Now here's the million-dollar question that's been haunting historians, scientists, and believers for thousands of years. Did Moses really part the Red Sea? Or is this just another ancient tale we've been passing down through generations? This isn't just about faith versus science. It's about understanding one of the most unexplained mysteries that shaped human history. The Exodus story has sparked countless documentaries, archaeological digs, and heated debates in university halls across the globe. Think about it for a second. We've got oceanography experts diving deep into the mechanics of water behavior, while religious studies scholars are poring over ancient texts trying to piece together what really went down in Egypt. It's like trying to solve a puzzle where half the pieces are missing and the other half might have been changed over time. The Red Sea miracle isn't just some dusty old story your grandmother told you. It's a phenomenon that's got modern scientists scratching their heads, wondering if there's a natural explanation hiding beneath the surface. What if I told you that the answer might blow your mind in ways you never expected? Here's where things get really interesting, though. This isn't about debunking anyone's beliefs or proving skeptics right. It's about diving headfirst into one of history's most captivating mysteries and seeing what emerges when we shine the light of modern science on ancient history. Whether you're a devout believer, a curious skeptic, or someone who just loves a good mystery, what we're about to explore might just change how you see the intersection of miracles and reality. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey that'll take us from the depths of the ocean to the heights of scientific discovery. Let me paint you a picture of one of the most dramatic moments in ancient history, the Red Sea miracle. Now there's a story that's been keeping people up at night for millennia. We're talking about the moment when Moses, this shepherd-turned-liberator, allegedly stretched out his hand and commanded the waters to split right down the middle. Can you even imagine witnessing something like that? The Israelites, we're told, walked through on dry ground while walls of water stood on either side. And then, boom, those same waters came crashing down on the Egyptian army pursuing them. It's the kind of scene that's inspired countless paintings, movies, and, yeah, even some pretty intense debates at dinner tables worldwide. Now here's what makes this particular miracle so fascinating to both the faithful and the skeptics. For believers, it's the ultimate demonstration of divine intervention, proof that when you're backed into a corner with nowhere to go, miracles can happen. It's a cornerstone of faith, a testament to the power of belief and a reminder that sometimes the impossible becomes possible. But for skeptics and scientists, well, they're looking at this story through a completely different lens, asking questions like, could natural phenomena explain this? Or, what does archaeology tell us about the Exodus? The beauty of it all is that both sides are searching for truth, just using different maps to get there. What's really wild is how this one event has become a battleground where faith and science meet head-on. Religious studies experts analyze the biblical accounts, trying to understand the spiritual and historical context of Israel's escape from Egypt. Meanwhile, scientists are firing up their computers, running simulations and studying oceanography to see if there's a natural explanation that fits the bill. It's not every day you see archaeologists, theologians, and meteorologists all huddled around the same mystery, right? And that's exactly what keeps this story alive and kicking. It's got something for everyone, whether you're Team Miracle or Team Science. All right, let's get real about the elephant in the room. When scientists try to validate historical events, especially something as mind-blowing as the Red Sea splitting in half, they're essentially trying to solve a crime scene that's thousands of years old with half the evidence missing. Think about it. We're talking about an event that supposedly happened over 3,000 years ago, in a time when nobody had smartphones to document everything. No video footage, no satellite imagery, just ancient texts and oral traditions passed down through generations. It's like trying to prove your great-great-great-grandfather's fishing story about the one that got away, except this fish was supposedly the size of an ocean, and it involved the fate of an entire nation. The challenges here are massive, and I'm not just talking about finding a needle in a haystack. We're talking about finding a specific grain of sand on a beach that's been reshaping itself for millennia. First off, there's the problem of physical evidence. The Red Sea and the surrounding desert landscape have changed dramatically since the time of Moses in the Exodus. Erosion, geological shifts, and human activity have all played their part in erasing potential clues. Archaeological digs in Egypt and Israel have turned up fascinating artifacts, sure, but connecting them definitively to the biblical account? That's where things get tricky. Scientists need concrete data, pottery shards, ancient inscriptions, geological markers, but miraculous events don't usually leave behind convenient evidence tags saying divine intervention happened here. Then you've got the whole issue of bias and interpretation. Ancient texts, including the Bible, weren't written as modern historical documentaries with footnotes and peer-reviewed sources. They were crafted with specific purposes in mind, blending history, theology, and cultural memory into narratives that meant something to the people of that time. When researchers try to extract historical facts from these accounts, they're walking a tightrope between respecting the religious significance and applying scientific methodology. Add to that the fact that different scholars interpret the same evidence in wildly different ways, and you've got yourself a proper intellectual wrestling match. Some archaeologists look at the evidence and see support for a historical exodus, while others argue there's simply not enough data to confirm it happened at all. Now here's where things start getting really interesting, and I mean jaw-dropping interesting. Scientists have rolled up their sleeves and dug deep into this mystery, and what they've uncovered might surprise you. Let's talk about the geological side first. The Red Sea isn't just some random body of water. It's sitting on top of what geologists call the Red Sea Rift, a massive crack in Earth's crust where two tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. This geological hotspot has been active for millions of years, creating all sorts of underwater features, shallow areas, and natural formations that could have played a role in the biblical account. Some researchers have pointed to specific locations, like the Gulf of Suez or even the Red Sea, which some scholars argue might be the actual site, where the water depth and seabed composition could have made a crossing feasible under the right conditions. But wait, there's more to this puzzle. Enter the meteorologists and oceanography experts who've been running computer simulations that'll blow your mind. A study conducted by researchers at the National Center for Atmospheric Research discovered something fascinating about wind set down. a phenomenon where strong, sustained winds can literally push water away from a coastline, exposing the seabed beneath. We're talking about winds blowing at around 63 miles per hour for roughly 12 hours, creating a temporary land bridge that could last just long enough for people to cross. This isn't science fiction, folks. It's documented natural phenomena that happens in shallow bodies of water around the world. The same principles that explain why hurricane winds can drain bays and harbors could potentially explain what happened in ancient history during the Exodus. Here's what really gets me excited about this whole investigation. Scientists aren't just throwing wild theories at the wall hoping something sticks. They're combining archaeology, historical science, and environmental data to build a comprehensive picture. For instance, researchers have studied ancient Egyptian records that mention unusual weather patterns and natural disasters around the time period when the Exodus might have occurred. They've analyzed sediment layers in the Red Sea region, looking for evidence of dramatic environmental changes. Some scholars have even proposed that volcanic activity from nearby regions could have triggered tsunamis or other water disturbances that aligned with the biblical timeline. It's like watching a massive jigsaw puzzle slowly come together, with each scientific discipline adding its own unique pieces to help us understand one of the Bible miracles that's captivated humanity for generations. All right, buckle up, because what I'm about to share with you is the kind of revelation that makes you sit back and go, "Wait, what?" The most surprising scientific conclusion that's emerged from all these investigations isn't what most people expect. Here it is. The Red Sea miracle might not have been supernatural in the way we traditionally think about miracles, but that doesn't make it any less miraculous. Let me explain what I mean by that. Research conducted by Carl Drews and Wei-King Han at the University of Colorado demonstrated through precise computer modeling that the parting of the waters could have been caused by a very specific combination of wind patterns and water dynamics. But here's the kicker. The timing would have had to be absolutely perfect. We're talking about a convergence of natural phenomena, so precise, so improbably aligned, that calling it coincidence seems almost harder to believe than calling it divine intervention. Think about what this means for a second. The scientific explanation doesn't necessarily debunk faith. Instead, it might actually deepen our understanding of how miracles of the Bible could work within the framework of natural laws. It's like discovering that God might be the ultimate orchestrator, using the very laws of physics and nature He created to accomplish His purposes. This perspective bridges the gap between science versus religion in a way that's honestly mind-blowing. Believers can see it as evidence that God works through nature, not just despite it, while skeptics have to grapple with the statistical improbability of such perfect timing occurring naturally. It's the kind of finding that leaves everyone at the table with something to think about, whether you're approaching this from faith in science or pure scientific explanation. What really gets me about this whole thing is how it changes the conversation entirely. We're no longer stuck in this binary debate of, did it happen or didn't it? Instead, we're asking deeper questions about the nature of miracles themselves. The investigation has shown us that the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural might be a lot more blurred than we thought. Archaeological evidence, oceanography data, and historical records all point to something extraordinary happening at the Red Sea. Whether you call it a miracle, an incredibly fortunate natural event, or divine timing working through natural phenomena. This is where unexplained mysteries meet cutting-edge science, and honestly, the result is way more fascinating than a simple yes or no answer could ever be. So here's what we've uncovered on this wild journey through ancient history, modern science, and one of the most debated events in human civilization. The scientific investigation into the Red Sea miracle has shown us that this isn't a simple case of choosing between faith or facts. It's way more nuanced than that. Researchers have demonstrated that natural phenomena like wind setdown, geological formations, and perfectly timed meteorological conditions could have created a pathway through the waters, just as the biblical account describes. But here's the beautiful paradox. The more science explains the how, the more impressive the when becomes. The timing, the circumstances, the survival of an entire nation, it all adds up to something extraordinary. regardless of which lens you're looking through. What's really fascinating is how this investigation has transformed the dialogue between believers and skeptics. Instead of being opponents in a debate, they're now more like detectives working the same case from different angles. The documentary evidence, the oceanography studies, the archaeological findings in Egypt and Israel, they all contribute pieces to a puzzle that's bigger than any single discipline can solve alone. Scientists studying miracles explained through natural laws aren't diminishing the spiritual significance. They're actually revealing a more complex and awe-inspiring picture. It's like discovering that the magician's trick is even more impressive once you understand the skill and precision required to pull it off. At the end of the day, the Red Sea miracle investigation teaches us something profound about the relationship between faith and science. These two approaches to understanding reality don't have to be enemies. They can be complementary ways of exploring the same truth. Whether you believe Moses stretched out his hand and God parted the waters through supernatural power, or you think divine intervention worked through natural phenomena with impossibly perfect timing, you're still acknowledging something extraordinary happened at that moment in history. The intersection of religious studies and historical science has given us a richer, more textured understanding of this ancient event, proving that sometimes the best answers come when we're willing to ask questions from multiple perspectives. Now I want to hear from you, because this conversation doesn't end here. It's just getting started. What's your take on all of this? Do you think the Red Sea miracle was a purely supernatural event? Or do you believe God could have used natural phenomena to orchestrate this incredible moment in the Exodus story? Maybe you're sitting somewhere in between, or perhaps you've got a completely different perspective that we haven't even touched on yet. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this discussion going. I'm genuinely curious to see how this documentary-style investigation has impacted your view on the relationship between science versus religion and these unexplained mysteries that continue to captivate us. And listen, if you're the kind of person who gets excited about diving deep into ancient history and exploring how modern science intersects with biblical accounts, then you're definitely going to want to check out our next video. We're peeling back the layers on other historical miracles that have scientists and believers alike scratching their heads. We're talking about events that defy easy explanation, stories that have shaped civilizations, and findings from archaeology that are rewriting what we thought we knew about the Bible miracles. Trust me, what we uncover in that next episode is going to blow your mind just as much as what we've explored today about the Red Sea and Moses. Before you go anywhere, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell icon. Why? Because we're building a community of curious minds here. People who aren't afraid to ask tough questions and explore the fascinating intersection where faith and science meet. Whether you come from a background in religious studies, you're passionate about oceanography and natural phenomena, or you simply love a good mystery rooted in ancient Egypt and Israel, this channel is your home. We've got more deep dives coming your way, more scientific explanations, and more opportunities to explore these incredible stories that have shaped human history. So subscribe now, turn on those notifications, and let's continue this journey of discovery together.